Hello, this is Hunter McDermott with another episode of Guitar Blog. This is episode 15. It is Tuesday, October 29th, 2019, 6:05 p.m. So I've been going through the Jazz Blues Accelerator course from Learn Jazz Standards, and I'm really liking it so far. The gist of the whole thing really is to take a piece of material that you're trying to learn and taking it into all 12 keys. So we're going real slow through that because that's a process. But so I've learned a jazz head, as I talked about last time, Au Privave, a Charlie Parker tune, by ear, which is cool. I haven't done a whole lot with jazz specifically, like learning the melody to a tune by ear. And then taking it into different keys. So I haven't looked at any sheet music for it. It's just been taking a Parker recording and playing it the way he played it on that recording and learning it in different keys, which is cool. And then he's got you doing some nice stuff with like laying out basically doing the kind of thing that I've talked about before with connecting arpeggios. So like on a B flat blues. That kind of thing. So you're going through the chords, but you're taking just kind of with quarter notes, taking the notes from the chord, playing the arpeggio basically, the chord tones, and then connecting them. So not jumping from chord to chord, but trying to connect it and using a note nearest to where you already are as possible, because it makes it musical that way. And then outlining the guide tones, so just playing sevenths and thirds for the different chords. And then the one that I really struggle with is the scale map, which is similar to the arpeggio thing where you're connecting these scales, but you're doing it with eighth notes, so you might run up a scale. Whatever. I struggle with that. And I think that's actually getting to the heart of one thing I hear that a lot of horn players are seemingly much better able to do most of the time is wherever they happen to be in whatever scale, one, they know what scale they're playing, and then two, they can effortlessly, instantly switch to a different scale to match the chord change. So that's been a good challenge and a good thing to work on, staying in a position and just trying to play over some changes that I know are changing keys, centers, and be able to do that without slowing down or stopping or making it musical in some way, and understanding what notes are changed. And another thing that I think that's really helping me with this is my reading. So I've been continuing to work through that music reading book, which is making reading the exercises and stuff in the course easier. It's making picking up new tunes easier, and it's actually making stuff like this, which is not reading related, easier, which is a great benefit. So I just have, because I'm working so much more on understanding what notes I am playing, that I already understand the key and how they're different. Now I'm finally kind of melding them together. So it's easier for me to know what note I'm playing at any given time, especially on things like A flat or D flat or E flat, these flats and sharps, C sharp. I know where they are, but in the heat of the moment or whatever, I'm not as comfortable with sharps and flats, and I'm getting much better at that because the tunes I'm playing in the book are calling for sharps and flats and stuff like that. So it's getting my brain in the right position where if you know where a C is and it says C sharp, it's just effortless to move up a fret. I don't have to think about it too hard, which is good. So yeah, that's the big thing. Another thing I've been messing around with is analyzing tunes. I haven't done a whole lot of this, but I picked up On Green Dolphin Street was a tune I just think is really pretty. The way Miles does it on that famous recording is especially great, and I'd like to learn that tune. Really focus on it eventually. But related to talking about connecting scales and stuff, that tune starts in C. and then it goes to a C minor chord. So it's got C major, C minor 7 chord, and then does a really cool thing with like this kind of cool walk down. And then, so just those first 2 chords, taking and like recording a C major 7 chord in time and then going to C minor and just trying different things. So I found that to my ear, the thing that I like the sound of, and this is probably because I'm a big fan of Miles, is playing C Dorian over that C minor 7 chord rather than a strict like C minor, C Aeolian thing. So then in that case, I'm really changing the scale by a couple of notes. So I might go that kind of thing. And that's cool. Like, you know, that's not outlining the chord changes so well when you take it out of context the same way that arpeggios would, but I think it's really, really good to be able to do that as well. And then just because, like an arpeggio, if I'm playing a straight minor 7 arpeggio, I'm never going to get those 9s that the Dorian scale would give me. I'm not going to get some of those other chord tones, those extensions and things that really make it sound cool and interesting, and it's achieving the sound that I personally like to hear. So I think working on arpeggios is really great, and then working on the scales is also great. Not because one is better or more useful than the other, but because it helps you merge the two in your brain. I think scales will leave a lot to be desired, and arpeggios will leave a lot to be desired. So working on them both makes a lot of sense. So just going through the tune and analyzing it, and I want to do a lot more of that. I should probably start doing it a little bit every single day, but just getting to where I can take a pencil, and when somebody says, we're playing this song, and I go, I don't know that song, flip to the tune and be able to go, okay, I see that this is in the same key or whatever, and just make some quick notes for myself, and just get in the habit of doing that to where I can play over those changes much more. So I'm just less, befuddled and confused by the whole thing. So even just taking a few minutes to go through On Green Dolphin Street, I'm able to now, in my opinion, improvise over it, and it sounds pretty good. There's a lot more I could do to study it and play more to the specific changes, but even just outlining what scales work really has gone a long way. So yeah, I'm going to do more of that stuff. That is all I think I've been working on. I've been trying to stay focused on just that limited set of stuff. The course is really helping me do that, because as soon as I get a certain key down, so we've gone through C and we've gone through F, and now I'm working on B flat. As soon as we go through a key, then you record what you're doing and share it with everybody, and then you're encouraged to go ahead and move on. And so that always gives me, it's just like biting off a little bit more each time of the course. So that's good. It's keeping me focused on that stuff. So what I thought I would do today, since I've been working on Au Privave in B flat, okay, that was for my own benefit. Yes, I can remember it. So working on that, the first chunk of the course focuses on, as he puts it, bluesy language. So we're not worrying so much, even though we are doing chord maps and scale maps and stuff, outlining the changes. So I can see that that's, setting us up for the next session, the next third of the course is kind of divided into 3 parts. But we're focused mainly on just phrasing, blues scale type stuff, not worrying so much about hitting all the changes. And I think that's important. Like some of my favorite players, John Scofield, Grant Green, These people are really bluesy in their style, and I think that's what makes me like them so much. They can still hit changes and do all kinds of cool stuff, but they're not afraid to put in a really nice, juicy, bluesy lick, which I think is really cool. I think Julian Lage is in that group too, because he understands how to really stretch your ear. Like he's going to do something really chromatic or really dissonant or strange or out, and then he'll bring it all back home with some sort of bluesy lick where you're kind of like, all right, I'm losing you. All right, now you got me again. And I'm losing you, and you got me again, right? And that kind of like push and pull really makes the music interesting and very satisfying. So I think it's really important and good to have a lot of good bluesy stuff under your fingers, which is why this specific course really stuck out to me. I think if I can really nail this, then as I improve and expand my vocabulary, I'll still have that, foundation and really bluesy stuff. So I'll be able to play like some of the people that I really like, that quality of their playing that I admire. I've been putting on like iReal Pro and just running through the head in a different key. Even though you can loop it infinitely in the app, it has a repetitions setting and it goes up to 30, and I find that that's like a perfect number. It depends on the tempo and the length of the tune, but generally that's puts it right around like 10-15 minutes worth of time that it just loops. So that's a good amount before I start to lose focus or my hand gets tired or whatever. I need to take a break. All right, so I thought I would play just a few choruses of Au Privave. Again, I'm going to be basically ignoring a lot of the changes and mainly focusing on just trying to make this blues scale work well. So it shouldn't sound, all that groundbreaking, but it's me just kind of solidifying the gist of this chunk of the course. And so I'd like to, once we get into the next one, which will be a couple weeks probably or more, where we're talking about outlining the changes, I think it'd be cool to have the recording of that and be able to compare. But anyway, so I'll try to play this. This is in B flat, so the tune is originally in F. I'm going to do it in B flat and just take a few choruses of this. So here we go. Playing too much, a little bit less. I get distracted quite easily, even in the middle of a tune. All right, so that's it. That's mostly focusing on bluesy language. I can't help but outline some of the changes just because that's what my ear tells me to do at this point. So that's more than just the blues scale. But I take that as kind of a good thing because that means that I've already kind of expanded my vocabulary past that anyway. So good stuff. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Later.